Hello. Hey, gang. Hope everybody is doing well today. Whoa. Why do I look so crusty? Well, I know I look a little crusty because I'm not wearing makeup right now, but that startled me. That really startled me. When I startle myself. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody is doing all right today. Thank you, Giselle, for the reset for 3 months. Welcome back to the universe. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Necron, for the reset for 460 streams. Not resub. Thank you for the 460 stream streak. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Strander Dander, for the reset for 3 months. Welcome back to the universe. Thank you. And thank you, Chaotic Legend, for the 5 stream streak. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's because your hair is done but not face. Yeah, there's a little bit of a disconnect. Yeah, but I think I technically think I had time to do my makeup, but as some of you guys might know from the stream notification, if you read those, if not, I am going to be on the Elf channel in about an hour, and then we're going to be doing our makeup there. It's going to be Marvel Rivals inspired, so I'm a little excited about that. Thank you, Janet, for the resub for 100 months. Wow, welcome back to the universe. Thank you, thank you. Janet is my first ever subscriber, first ever to have joined the universe. So that is very cool to see that we are approaching 100 months of streaming, 100 months of having been affiliated. So very cool. Okay, yeah, but because of that, I'm just going to be barefaced for the stream right now because I don't think I also okay. You know what? Let me greet you all first and then let me start yapping, okay? Hi Necron, hello Zemi, hi Fatui, hi JJ, hi Delude, hi Jojo, hi Non-Creative, hello Kev. I don't normally do lunch streams. I don't normally do day streams. I think I want to incorporate more of those in the future with like a stricter schedule. But as for now, these are a little bit more sporadic and dependent on my other schedule. But yeah, I'll do up a schedule in the next week or so, I feel like. Hi Dogma. Hello again, Gisela. Hi Yvonne. Thank you so much for being a mod for me for 6 months. Half a year is crazy. Hello, Finesse God. Hi, Ma. Hello, Fred Bob. Hello, Myung. Hi, Cosmo Carp. Hello, Random Fan. Hi, Deca. Hi, Dying Breed. Hello, Ideal. Hi, King Harris. Hello, Jake Adams. Hello, Shrander Dander again. Hi, Izzy. Hi, Insta Killers. Hi, Arhenius. Can we get a shout out for this elf channel? They are elfyou. I think they're in the title, but yeah. So I will be rating into them. So as long as you guys stick around towards the end of stream, you'll be directed directly towards them. Hi, Jimmy. Hello, TT. Hi, Savoy. I haven't seen you in a bit, Savoy. What up? Hi, Kaji. Road of Empress 2 is in 10 hours. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah. If it's in 10 hours, you think, I'll probably do a double stream today. I have a dinner appointment, but I'll try to come back in time enough for us to start Road to Empress 2 together, mayhaps. Yeah, thank you, King Harris, for the 30 stream streak. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. A Psylocke makeup inspired would be cute. I don't think I have the colors for Psylocke, and because I'm like wearing red, I was thinking like a hybrid of Devil Dino makeup and Emma. Cause if I had red eyeshadow and or like a red liner, I think I would go for like a full Devil Dino because Dino released in season 8. But because I don't have that and I have more like sparkly eyeshadows, I think I have to do like some sort of mishmash. Hi, Witty. Hi, Cynical. I want to let you know that I appreciate every day being sub to you mostly because of this emo. You jupe. I'm glad you enjoy juping. Hi, Powell. Hi, Wix. What's up? What are some games that piqued your interest in Summer Games Fest? Okay, let me retake a look at the summer. I mean, I liked a lot of them. Also, the Xbox announcement. The Xbox announcements were crazy, you know? I feel like a lot of people would have liked the Xbox Game Showcase. Okay. Summer Games Fest games. Yeah, I'm excited for the remake of Code Veronica. I'm excited for, of course, Final Fantasy VII Revelation, but that means we most definitely have to complete Remake, Integrate, and Rebirth. I'm excited for Tifa in Street Fighter. So, and then obviously we did a sponsored watch party of Virtua Pro. But even though that was sponsored, I am looking forward to that game because I look forward to any games that seem to have like heavy emphasis on narrative. And I feel like the team from what we saw worked a lot on like the story behind the campaign of the fighting game. So I'd like to try it out myself. And then I don't know about Stellar Blade. I've been seeing a lot of discourse around like, oh my gosh, she looks like a child versus like, you know, baby faced or like round faced young looking woman exists. But I am leaning towards she looks way too much like a child and she's still going to have jiggle physics to the point where it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm excited for Wolf Among Us 2. I don't know whether we should play Wolf Among Us before the remake of the original comes out. Either way, we're either going to play the remake or the first one before Wolf Among Us 2. But yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts. I'm excited for the Among Us story. I am excited for the Among Us story. I'm excited for Blood of Dawnwalker, the vampire looking game. That looks sick. I liked 1666 Amsterdam. That's like the witch assassin game from the Assassin's Creed creator. I'm excited for Virtua Fighter Crossroads, which is the one that we watch party together. I am a little interested in Gundam Rogue Orbit. Stranger Than Heaven, Tupac and Snoop Dogg. I'm also excited for Blood Message and Resident Evil Veronica. We said that though in the beginning. Yeah, I think those are what I'm most excited for. Impulse? I don't know about Impulse. Can you family share 1666 Amsterdam with me? Thank you so much. Okay, maybe I'll just gift it to you when it comes out. Hi, John. What's up? No, I don't think it's that one screenshot because I looked over the trailer again and then I was looking at multiple screenshots on the Twitter timeline and I'm like, no, I think she looks too much like a child. Because, okay, the thing is, there's a lot of like, I don't mean to bring down my gender, but there's a lot of women who were like, I get told that I'm young. I get told that I look young all the time because I'm so short and my face is so round. And like I get it, but at the same time, yeah, and then they look 35 and then they look like their age. They don't look like bad for their age, but they don't look like a child. I feel like these women are over exaggerating their youth in a slightly pick-me-ish way. But I think the major problem is that when you look at the Stellar Blade 2 protagonist's face, it's that, like, it's not just about having a round face. it's that it's like very shortened mid face wise, if that makes sense. So like if you see my face is pretty big in general, right? But I would say that I have like pretty big cheeks, and because they're pretty big, that gives me like a little bit more youth, right? But how you can tell that I am leaning more towards an adult than a child is because my like features take up most of my face, yes? Like they're elongated. Whereas like I think children's features are like usually like shortened or minimized, and then like their faces are smaller. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're like a lot more squished together. And so and that's what makes me uncomfortable is that like what was it? There was like another, they were like, "Oh my god, she's a kid or something." Or oh, for Pragmata, they were like, "Oh, they're like sexualizing this child." And I was like, "No, she looks like a kid." Like she very much looks like a kid, and I don't think they are, well, I didn't get the feeling that they were like sexualizing her, right? Or like making it pedo bait. Like for me, when we played through Pragmata and watched it, I could definitely tell there was propaganda for rearing a child, right? Like I could very much tell, like, yeah, this is pushing the you need to be an adoptive father. You need a you have a parental duty to take care of the orphans. Yo, have kids. Like, right? That was the message I was getting from Pragmata. But I wasn't getting, you should look at this little blonde android girl as like an object of desire. That's not what I was getting at all, right? But you could tell like from the way that she looked, like she's very much albeit like a very pretty, very like almost too perfect child, but like she was giving young, right? Whereas like you could tell from the Stellar Blade 2 protagonist's face that she's giving baby, but then you look at her bodysuit and you're like, that's a little too skin tight. And I bet there's going to be jiggle physics, and I can't see through it right now because there's a big ass poncho covering the majority of her body. But I'm uncomfortable. Too skin tight blasphemy? I feel like it is blasphemy if like it's giving child. It's giving under 18. Hi Cosmic Brownie, how are you? There were jiggle physics in the trailer already. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't able to see the jiggle physics properly in the trailer because we were watching it. We were watching the SGF showcase on Twitch, and a lot of the times when there were like action sequences, we are getting 3 frames per second. They also tried to argue that the model just looks like that when in Stellar Blade 1 they just completely altered the face as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world of gaming lately, but I am a little uncomfortable at some points. Good, how about you? I'm okay. Oh, okay. So this is why I wanted to give my skin maximum break too, is because, guys, I'm gonna admit, I feel like nobody needs to know this except me, but I'm a little self-conscious about my forehead wrinkles lately. I feel like they don't really show up unless I raise my eyebrows, but I raise my eyebrows a lot. So that's a problem. I emote too much. I'm too expressive. Sue me. There's just always something to react to excessively, especially when I'm reading Twitch chat, you know, or interacting with the most cantankerous of gamers. But because of that, I was like, what is a way to reduce forehead wrinkles without resorting to forehead Botox? And so they were saying retinols. And I know, and I'm around the age where I think I have to start incorporating retinoids into my skincare anyways, because it's just like good for longevity. But yeah, so retinol serums or tretinoid. So I used a retinol product last night, but because it's my first time ever using a retinol product, I woke up with like my skin all red. It's like very red. I think you can kind of see it through my tone up sunscreen, but I'm like red around my forehead, around my cheeks, and like my nose area. And I was like, oh God, I look like a tomato. Cause yeah, I guess there's a such thing as retinol burn. And it's just irritation because these products are quite strong when you first use them on your skin. So yeah, just a heads up. If you're like, oh my God, Yoojin, you're looking a little more ruddy than normal and not in like a cute, pretty, youthful, glowing way and more like a tomatoey way. That's why. Is there an age for retinol? I thought it's ideal to start anytime. I would say until like your early to mid 30s, I wouldn't start using retinol. Because when you start using skincare products when you don't need it, then your skin becomes reliant on those products and stops like generating like collagen or in general like you're repairing your skin barrier on its own. Does that make sense? Because like when you're young, you naturally have regenerative properties and your skin is like working overtime anyways. But if you introduce like, for example, eye cream a little bit too early, then the area around your eyes is naturally just going to be dry because it's like, why would I produce like collagen or moisture around these eyes when I'm already getting that produced like put on topically? I don't know if retinol is good when you're young if you have acne prone skin, I thought. Am I tripping? Yeah, I mean, that's why. I mean, retinol can be good for acne prone skin, I think, but I don't have acne prone skin. So that's why I didn't need to use retinol for so long. I used a ton of stuff in high school and college, and it took forever to wean off of skin products. My face feels way better now. Yeah, I think not to undermine my own ethnicity, but I do think the Koreans kind of fucked up with the 10 step skincare routine or whatever and perpetuating that back in like the 2010s when K-beauty was first taking off. Maybe it was just like like really good marketing so that people were more prone to like just buying a ton of Korean skincare. But I would not recommend that much skincare until you're older because I don't think you need it. You got the Wi-Fi signal on your forehead? No. No, actually. Yes. Okay, I'm just not gonna raise my brows ever again. Mine does that too. It's okay, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. It makes me really self-conscious. Yo, thank you, Neek Neek, for this resub. Please make sure to share your Twitch notifications so I can more properly thank you. When is older? Asking is almost half 60-year-old. I would say like when you're like 30 to 35, like you can start using like retinol and stuff. But I would say you probably don't need like the 10-step skincare routine until you're like maybe late 40s to 50s. Yeah. Do you use PDRN stuff? PDRN, I'm gonna be so for real with you. It does not work unless it doesn't work topically. Like you have to inject that shit, and it doesn't work like as ingestible either. Like it doesn't work if you are, and I hate to say this because maybe I'll sell out in the future. Maybe I'll sell out in the future and somebody's like, can you please promote our PDRN product? And I'll be like, yes, of course. But I would know for sure that PDRN is not effective topically, because I asked my father, who is an MD, and he's never once let me forget that in the entirety of my life. But yeah, I asked him about PRN and I was like, does it work if it's just like a topical, like lotion, cream, serum, whatever? And he's like, no. And then I was like, well, does like collagen work if you ingest it? Because I know collagen doesn't work if it's just topical. And he was like, no, collagen only works if it's an injectable underneath your epidermis. And I'm like, kill. Yeah, so PDRN only works if it's like, you know, the really like painful like stabby syringe thing. You know how like you see like the skincare treatments and they're like they have like little bumps like on across like all across their face. Yeah. But I will say, just because the PDRN product doesn't necessarily work PDRN wise, that's not to say they're not bad, you know? Because I think like the MediHeal, like PDRN, like serum or whatever, even if like it's not going to give you the results as like a true like PDRN injection, like $500 treatment or whatever, it's still probably going to moisturize, because they have other ingredients included within the serum. Like I think niacinamide, which is very moisturizing and helpful. Does it work if I drink it like soup? No, it does not. Yeah, but I don't use... It's not that I go out of my way to avoid PRN products, but for me lately, I think I just try to be consistent with my skincare, because I've been kind of lazy and it shows within like my pores and shit. IMO, so yeah. As a less expressive person, I appreciate more expressive people like you. Thank you, Powell. Slips you a tenner underneath the table. Keep it up, little dog. Keep praising me. Okay. Yeah, but honestly, I was gonna just watch Moist Critical's Lego videos. I think we still have enough time. Yeah, we still have enough time. Are you guys ready to watch that? I don't know whether you guys have been keeping up or not. Oh wait, the Xbox. Okay. So excited for Fable. Anyone else excited for Fable? I'm really, really excited for Fable. I didn't play the other Fable games, but I've heard a lot lore-wise, because I used to watch a lot of retrospectives. What else? Persona 4 Revival. Crazy. Persona 6 is so crazy. And then what else? Oh my god. Magician's the Devil's Steel. Did you guys see this? This literally looks like Devil Megamind. Is there a Persona 6 update? I think they announced that in the Xbox showcase that Persona 6 is coming. It's here. Persona 6 got an official reveal. Did you see 25th anniversary console itself? It looks sick. Yeah. And I was so jealous, because they were like, everybody here that has fan on their badge, you guys are all getting a Isn't that crazy? I wanted to ask for some help. I learned how to Riz from Cutie in the chat, but I've been banned from like 6 channels now, and IDK what I'm doing wrong. I can't tell whether that's bait or not, but if you're for real, I would say you should not use Riz on random channels on the internet. I also don't think learning Riz from Cutie and his chat is a good thing. There's a reason why his chat. Like, do you honestly think his chat is full of taken men and women and non-binary people? Wait, how's the quality on this? Oh, it is 1080p. Hi, Pyro. What's up? What do you mean Persona 5 was bad? Persona 5 was good and I didn't even finish it. But not because it was bad. It's because I lost my save file. Hi, Baldi. What's up? Is that it? Oh shit, never mind, that was not it. Dude, it's giving Scooby-Doo. Me and Eugene were talking about it. And then this is Persona 4 Revival trailer.
You ever heard of the Midnight Channel?
Domino might have been on that Midnight Channel before she died too.
Wait! Whoa! Now where are we?
Whoa.
Feels like we're someplace totally different. Watch out!
Oh my god, I forgot. There's a lot of tongues.
We're getting to the bottom of it.
To wield a persona is to wield direct control of one's heart.
Hi Gumi, how are you?
Strengthened
Hi
through
Andizon, hi Wacky Zaki.
Doesn't it sound cool?
Someone had to see that. I'm glad it was you.
Was that supposed to be him?
Good times never seem to last long, do they?
I hate you, sneaky, stupid, bully jerk!
Wait, Marie's design is so cute. What the hell?
Come on, don't call me that.
All shadows were originally born from humans.
Who is this guy?
And that means Senpai got killed by
That's a
herself.
big guy.
No! Get out of here! Don't look at me! Does that mean you're just gonna stuff me back in your head and pretend I'm not Rhea? I can't.
Persona!
All right. Which means that we also gotta catch whoever's tossing people in here.
I think I'd like to help too. I'm not running away from this. Well,
Hi Flyjin, what's up?
taking down shadows. It's over.
So yeah, I'll be counting on you, partner. Then let's team up and catch this jerk.
Dude, is that the Protax voice or is that his friend? Oh, this looks sick. Hi Carl, what's up? Oh yeah, I don't know the plot twist, so no spoilers. We will be playing it at some point, I believe. No spoilers. Okay. Yeah, but I'm really excited for these. But you can't not tell me this doesn't look like Megamind, but just a little bit more devilish, no? Like this is very Megamind. Doom the Dark Ages is getting an expansion. Yeah, this is crazy. It looks so sick. It kind of reminds me of a big Lego. Age of Empires 4, Minecraft Dungeons 2, Thieves Guild, and the Elder Scrolls Online. Hey, how come instead of a Elder Scroll Online, they gave us the new Skyrim game? Oh, Where Winds Meet expansion. Spyro. Dude, I saw a lot of hype for Spyro. Yeah, thank you, David, for the reset for 53 months. Welcome back to the universe. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So many games coming out in September and February 2027. GTA 6 has them too scared to release in November or something. You think GTA 6 is actually gonna release in November? I'm not goading you. I'm not being like sarcastic. I'm genuinely curious as to whether we believe that they won't delay it more. Nintendo Direct tomorrow. It's just a good time for gaming, man. Really good time for gaming. Vivarium. This looks cute. It's like when all the indies were changing dates for Silk Song's release. Can't wait for Fire Emblem news that's coming out tomorrow for sure. I think so, wouldn't it? I believe it a bit more since there are zero AAA games announced for November so far. Okay. That sounds promising. Madoka movie has been delayed like 8 times. Nothing ever goes right for me. Okay, Akemi, though, I feel like maybe the Madoka movie keeps getting delayed because they're like, Akemi, you have to live longer. because what you need something to look forward to, right? You need something to keep living for. You know? So they're like, oh God, we can sense in the ether that Girl Flowers is having a really hard time right now. But we're afraid that if we release soon and they watch it and they're like, okay, my life's complete, there's nothing else to live for anymore, that they might do something drastic. Hi, Hanson fan, what's up? Okay. Shall we go through? Okay. What was it? We were watching this, right?
Help a creator.
No, this is Unexpected Twist. This is what we were watching. Okay.
Too expensive. Now, what happened next, I couldn't actually believe. I was stunned. I can't recommend watching this video enough. They went through all the proper motions and channels from what I can see. Again, I'm not an expert, but it looks like they did squeak out the W with the small claims. Like, they didn't actually show up or do anything like they were supposed to. Bricks and Minifig, that is. So, Ben and the gang, they did win that, and when they went to collect...
This direct is
they actually
big
shut
one
down the
since
store
it's got a
permanently.
treehouse. What is a
That was their response to
treehouse?
it. They just closed operations of that location. Holy shit.
Since they didn't respond, you can move forward with a motion for default judgment.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, since Bricks and Minifigs didn't respond, it looks like we win by default.
Congratulations, you won the court case.
Wait, what?
I couldn't believe it. Literally one day after we filed a motion for default judgment, they permanently closed down the store. At first, it did feel kind of cool that our plan worked so well, it completely shut them down. But pretty quickly it sunk in that we are not the winners here. The only winners today is Bricks and Minifigs.
Because they still have the
There's absolutely
collection.
No way to hold this store liable for what they did. I guess Bricks and Minifigs was kind of embarrassed by this decision and forgot to mark online that their store is closed. So over the next few days, a bunch of negative
Fire
reviews started
Emblem
coming in.
and Star
People
Fox are
expecting
the only
store,
announced
and
games, so they're gonna show
this.
gameplay 100%.
Cinema. Like, yes, it is not a good ending. because
Okay,
now-
this is my breakdown so far. So there were this father-son duo, and the father is unwell, like physically. So in order to help pay for hospital bills and whatnot, the son is trying to sell his father's collection of Legos, which is very expansive, and it's like throughout the years, like they've collected a good amount of like these really big Legos, and it's like the estimated value is $200,000 USD, and they are selling it to this store called Bricks and Minifigs, which is basically a consignment store for like Legos and toys. And once they give the product to Bricks and Minifigs, normally what happens is that Bricks and Minifigs has a hold of it, and then once they sell the products to new customers, then they give like 80% of the portion or product's value back to the original owners, because they're like selling it on their behalf, and then they keep like a little portion of the money for being the middleman, right? But these guys, when they kept the $200,000 collection, and they were like, we are not like, we don't have to give you money for it for whatever reason. I don't really know. It was like really long and convoluted. The original owner of that Brixton minifig, I mean, she and her family were planning on moving out of country anyways to begin with. But, you know, she was trying to do like the right thing. But like management came and then like kicked her out of her own store. And then she had to leave the country anyways. So then the father-son duo had to interact with like all these other management people who were basically like, you're harassing us, you're not allowed to be on properties, you're trespassing. And then the police, the local police, law enforcement, were also like not cooperating and being on the side of Brixton minifig. And so the son of the father-son duo had to like reach out to YouTubers to get more traction and views on the case. And I think like this guy, Reckless Ben, on the side over here, was the one who like kept showing up and like trying to do like on the ground news action the most. And now like people like Moist Critical is covering it. I think Ludwig covered it. I'm sure there are like other people who are watching and bringing eyes to the story as well. But yeah, and then I think there are more updates at the moment.
They still haven't paid Brian for the collection, and they still got to get away with all of it.
Yeah,
They
thank you,
disclosed
DJ
this one
Sneaky
store, but they're still
Snake,
a
for the
big
resub for
corporation, so,
43
like Ben
months.
said,
Welcome
they are
back
still
to the
trying to
universe,
put
and
their
thank you
shares
for
in
the
Loading,
prime. I
Lost
really
Small Claims
appreciate
They
it.
just shut this down and move on. But it did end with a flood of negative reviews for Brixton minifigs because, well, they didn't even really inform their customers.
Question,
about
what
this
did you
because it
even
was
want
so
from the Jumbi
instantaneous
collab?
After the Small Claims
I think I
default judgment,
wanted
guess.
the
Pretty
Snoopy
fucking wacky.
keychain
What
and maybe a
diabolical movie it
tote.
is. This is all over Legos, by the way. And the cops
I don't-
were on like the side of Ben, and yet still.
I think
they
I
were able to
wanted the
squeeze out something
Matcha
I think pretty
too, but I
impressive.
think
The
that's
cops were
asking
always
for
on
too
Brixton minifig
much.
side, even at times seemingly going out of their way to be on their side, which is extremely annoying. Like, I don't think they were getting, money under the table for the cooperation or anything like that. It is just one of those things where I guess they just believe that the business can do no wrong and that this must just be some wacky psycho doing
Hi,
shit to be
Julia, by
destructive.
the
But really,
way.
Brixton minifigs are the bad guys here from all available evidence.
And the only way to let the world know is for me to give them an official closing ceremony. I guess someone driving by happened to take a picture of the sign we put up and posted it on social media. And pretty much immediately, we started going absolutely viral. The entire world has now seen this crime that Brixton Minifigs has committed. And because of this, they finally marked on Google that their store is permanently closed.
I've been reading about this Brixton Minifigs in Salem, Oregon. It's got this sign out front of it.
It's been over a week. The sign is still up, and people have been traveling from all over just to come and take a picture with this sign.
If you drive through Kaiser, you may have noticed a mysterious sign appear recently outside the closed mini Brixton Fig store.
Banger. That's so good. So the sign popped off here because it's the only way to let people know why that store's closed, what all has happened there, what's gone on, why is it no longer operational? And then it just started to naturally, organically catch wind online in the Lego community, and then exploded beyond the Lego community.
Hi,
And
Facial
apparently all of
Wizzle.
This is still just the first part of this saga here, this Lego adventure. Part 2 is up on his Patreon, and he gave like a sizzler reel where apparently he is in handcuffs. Him and his whole group are. I don't know how it pops off to that degree because it looks like they're at their own home with it. It's seemingly pretty fucking wild in part 2, but yeah, even just part 1 had me stunned.
Oh yeah, Legally Blonde is free. What the hell?
Legos from this company.
Is it because I'm a YouTube Premium
I had the
guy?
app about this. It was an incredible video. Again, I highly recommend you go watch the entire thing from Reckless Ben. I just couldn't help but blabber about it. Fucking home run of a video here, and a big fuck you to Brixton Minifigs. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's more because that was 12 days ago, right? And then I can't tell whether this is Brixton Minifigs. I don't think so. This is not. This is Lego. Okay, this one is not good because I watched, as you can see, I watched a little bit and I was like, that's not very good. Okay.
Help! A short bearded man has fallen into addiction in Lego City. But I don't want to give up.
I do love
am
YouTube Premium. I wish I
This
could
Lego
add
snuggle,
more
and
people to
today
my
has been
YouTube
an
Premium family,
action-packed
but it's
day of
actually
new developments in this case. I'll
maxed
start with the one
out.
Everyone has now seen the
Dude, I will say, being the YouTube Premium family payer, I never felt more popular. Once, because as soon as my parents were like, "You have YouTube Premium," they're like, why aren't we on it? And I was like, I didn't think you needed it. And they were like, hell yeah, we need it. I fucking love YouTube. I watch YouTube all the damn time. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, my real family is on my family plan. It's my brother, my mom, my dad, my maternal grandma, and then Nathan, and then me. Dude, I genuinely did not know that my family was that invested into YouTube. What about me? I knew you first, but would you have me kick off my grandma?
Bricks and Minifigs franchise owners, the stars of the
Yes? Oh, fuck.
Most of the video coverage around this case.
Well, goodbye,
Brandon Best and
Grandma.
Joshua Johnson, aka Voldemort and Dr. Evil, have reached a mutual agreement with Bricks and Minifigs to part ways. They announced the permanent closure of its Salem, Oregon store, the one at the heart of this scandal. They announced this like it's fucking E3, as well as making a mention that there was a mutual agreement reached with the franchise owners of that location, Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson, due to a devastating.
Thank you
social
for
media
still
campaign.
letting me on your
So,
Crunchyroll.
the song on the world's smallest violin. They then immediately speed run to massaging their sack and trying to put the crosshairs instead on the previous owner. They talk about how there's an investigation that's still ongoing, but their current investigation points to the real bad guys as the previous owners, which are the Gormans. They talk about gross negligence, significant evidence of gross negligence, as well as operational gaps during the transition and subsequent management of document recovery. They then provide a lot of information that they've gathered through their investigation, and some of it does have corroborating evidence that other outside parties are now talking about and providing as well. And I'll get into that in a moment, because it does seem like there was a lot of really convoluted, messy problems here even before BB and JJ, Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson, got involved here from the top turnbuckle. What I find interesting, though, is that they are immediately going into, it's the previous owners, let's all forget about this. Yes, Brandon and Josh are gone. Okay, we can celebrate, but let's talk about the real villains. When even if Brandon and Joshua weren't immediately responsible for how sloppy everything got off rip, they are responsible for their own behavior. We have oodles of body cams.
Oodles.
I know about the unredacted body cams. I watched those. It definitely doesn't look good for the Bricks and Minifig side of things, but I don't believe I'm actually allowed to show anything or talk about that in depth because I don't know if it's entirely legal how they were obtained. But even outside of that, we have the evidence of Brandon and Josh's behavior to Ben on camera and the things that were being said over the phone and how aggressive and vulgar and hostile they were immediately, even upon just a request to try and get this resolved amicably. So again, even if they're not solely responsible for all of the hoopla legally with the...
Yeah, I mean, they were just
what was
really
from the
freaking mean.
franchisee, they didn't conduct themselves professionally in any way, shape, or form, and only served to exacerbate issues.
But Johnson, the new owner of
Really?
the
I'm
franchise,
like, no,
also claimed he had the right to
I don't
follow.
know.
Here's the statement that he
Nathan
made.
said I
However,
was
due to the
brain
claim,
rotted.
Mr. continues to call the business despite being told not to, and
Because I
he continues
have
do
to
so as well.
listen to
He did not
things
want
on
to
2
use the items
times
himself. He
speed.
added that he also doesn't feel
I
that
need
Mr.
things
Store's
sped
income
up.
became his once he took it over. So he didn't want to give the items to Mansell because of Mansell's phone calls, and why didn't the police order him to return the sets to Mansell immediately? I guess we'd have to talk to the DA.
I wanted to briefly dump that clip from the Legal video in here because I think that is just comical, coming from a ghoul like Josh, who is just like the caricature of a Reddit telephone.
Some people yap too much for too long. I think some people just talk too slowly. I'm like,
don't tussle with the muscle, that kind of stuff. Like he's recorded melting down.
I don't know. These days, I'm like, damn, girl.
That annoyed me, so I'm not giving it back.
Pick up the pace a little bit.
Everything in it is mine now. Which
Let me times 2 speed you in real life.
Something Legal goes in depth on.
But maybe that's just me.
And stuff like that, and giving examples.
Because one of you guys complimented me on my slower pace of speaking, and I considered that an insult. Adios, what's up? Dude, what was it? It was introductions. Okay, how do you find my stream? While I was working, I listened to streams in the background as white noise, but most of them were high energy, loud, and too distracting. Then during my swapping of streams, I saw Yuja's channel, and it was so quiet and calm. Big fan of streamers with slow speaking patterns. Like, I think this guy genuinely is complimenting, but it made me feel bad because I don't like people who speak that slowly. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I do speak in a methodical sort of pace because that is not the first time I've had somebody kind of compliment me or say in a good way that I speak slowly. Because somebody was like, your stream is really good to learn English too. And I was like, huh? Because they're saying like I speak slowly to the point, and I enunciate well enough to the point where it's like a little bit easier to comprehend my English for a non-native English speaker.
To just
But I don't know. But it made me feel self-conscious.
The only legal analyst that has weighed in on this. There's been so many like lawyers and a ton of like law professionals.
If it makes you feel better, I never speed you up. Thank you, milady. I speed you up. I speed you up with the lads because I think it's funny.
On other outlets,
when you're gooning and then you go 2 times speed and you seem even more excited than you already are.
It's not as that. The one thing that seems to be agreed upon by everyone is that it is very messy, but Bricks and Minifigs didn't act optimally. They certainly weren't doing the best here, especially not the franchisees.
Jester maxing.
Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson. So even if there is like some convoluted...
Hi, Cody. I hope you're doing well.
Ultimately, nobody handled it perfectly, which has made it become such a nuclear bomb of drama. Now, there has been a lot of new information, like I mentioned, and a big piece of that is calling into question the actual value of the Legos from the very beginning. It has always been alleged 200K worth of Legos, and in fact, that's even what it was marketed as. But apparently, that was all just, hype train stuff and not representative of the actual value of the Lego collection. It was all just buzz. So, through the Bricks and Minifig investigation, as well as others coming forward and going through it all, the speculation is now that it was around 100K worth of Legos.
That's still a lot.
That hadn't been sold already. It was as low as 6,200, but that varies from source to source because, again, throughout all of this, it is still impossible to know what exactly is true and what is speculative. So, like, finding the truth amongst all of the sludge here is still really difficult, but now there's a call into question about, like, the total value of the Lego sets themselves. Also, some of them have been returned. Bricks and Minifigs is trying to make the claim that they've been trying so desperately to work with Brian for so long to get this resolved, and it breaks their heart, that kind of thing. When on camera, you can watch the CEO, Ammon, who just did an interview, by the way, that I want to show you some clips from, just outright refusing to even engage with Ben about it or even entertaining the idea.
Hi, Sid. What up?
Solved, instead, wanting to go scorched earth off rip, rolling up his sleeves like, okay, let's get after it then. And now, all of a sudden, he's, the Zen master. He's fucking, peace on earth, why can't we all be friends kind of guy. Like, so he's really changed his tune now, even though on camera before all this blew up, he was really adamant about, guess we're going to have to go to have a fight about it. So now all of a sudden, Bricks and Minifigs is like, we just want to help, we want to make them whole, when all the evidence points to the contrary for the longest time. And another big piece of this is still about consignment. That has been what the huge part has been for a long time. I'll get to that in a moment, but another thing is about, like, the Gormans, because another thing that's come out is that Crystal had actually had some of Brian's father's Legos at her house, not at the store, which is odd. There was also multiple bookkeeping.
Crystal was the original owner, right? And she had
a lot of moving pieces here. Now
what?
Brian wasn't actually being properly compensated by the Gormans, the previous owners of the location, and that's just unacceptable. So Bricks and Minifigs is stepping up. They're the heroes. Actually, we should be rallying behind Bricks and Minifigs because look how much they're doing to try and help the little guy.
No, I think everyone is in the wrong. No,
and like bury this. So they have really flip-flopped on their tone behind all of this, but they are now providing information about like this investigation that they're doing, and others are also investigating independently of Bricks and Minifigs and finding similar things. So it has been quite a lot going on. Another thing that's been called into question is the legitimacy of Ben's claim about their victory in small claims court. That also has a lot of messiness associated with it and a lot of question marks now. So this whole thing is starting to get even more wild and wacky and just this crazy fucking web. Now, I want to show you another clip from Legal Eagle's video in regards to consignment, because like I said, that is still one of the biggest pieces here, and there is, on security camera footage, inarguably, a higher level position at Bricks and Minifigs confirming that they're taking on that consignment liability, which may not be technically binding, but it does seem like that is a big deal that they did verbally state that that's going to happen. And Bricks and Minifigs keeps denying that they do consignment, and they always train against it, but all the evidence points to, in their contracts, they do allow for consignment. So why are they contradicting themselves? Also, the CEO has become addicted to humiliation. He's doing his own nationwide humiliation ritual and is going on like the YouTuber shows where he is, again, contradicting some of this.
Why is he going on the YouTuber shows, bro?
Peculiar. But anyway, here's the consignment piece towards the end of Legal Eagle's video that I think is pretty important to the overall case.
But Bricks and Minifigs Corporate has argued that consignments violated franchise policy or were unauthorized under the franchise agreement. So we took a look at the Bricks and Minifigs 2003 franchise agreement, which does not say that stores can't use consignment. Quote, subject to our standards, specifications, and approval, if we so require, you may also offer the following products and services. Consignment services. And that's just on the first page. And the franchise agreement template reiterates that on the first page, quote, additionally, franchisees may also offer consignment services. And Reckless Ben states in an update that Crystal Law provided the actual franchise agreement that she signed, which explicitly allows consignment agreements. Now, additionally, there are 4 references to consignment in these documents, and none of them are an outright prohibition. And even if Bricks and Minifigs Corporate corporate outlawed consignment agreements, that agreement only addresses the relationship between Bricks and Minifigs and the Gormans, not the ownership of the Star Wars collection.
He goes on to say that that's between the Gormans and Bricks and Minifigs in that case, not Brian. He is completely independent of that, and his property rights are independent of that. He then goes on to give you an example of what he believes the logic that would be applied here would be.
But either way, I don't think that argument
My brain is hurting. I must take some
To
Advil.
illustrate that principle, if a franchisee violated policy by storing a friend's vehicle on business premises, the franchisor could discipline the franchisee and terminate the agreement. But absent some independent legal mechanism, the franchisor would not become the owner of that vehicle. And I think the same logic would apply here.
And to me, that's the simplest way of looking at it, and it's how most people are viewing it, myself included. If, as Bricks and Minifigs says, they don't do consignment, but in this case, the franchisee went rogue, which is what Ammon is now claiming, which I'm going to show you in a moment. If that is the case, why are they still not giving the Legos that they have back? Why has it been such a stink? Why has it been a fucking slobber knocker here?
Slobber knocker.
Again, all the evidence seems to point to that being a liar, liar, plants for hire moment from Bricks and Minifigs.
He has such a way with words, this
for us to
guy.
sink our little teeth in. They do outright say that consignment is permissible. There is no prohibitive language around that to forbid franchisees from doing consignment. Crystal provided her contract that says that consignment is possible. But as Legal says, it is also possible that maybe there was an update to that where they then did outlaw it and they signed it. That's possible, but we're just guessing. We don't know. What we do know, though, is that based on these contracts, there is nothing prohibitive about consignment with Bricks and Minifigs from these franchisees. But anyway, again, if it isn't something they do, then why have they been so against giving it back? Josh was even like, I don't feel like giving it back. He was calling us. He was hitting me up on the horn. He was ringing my telephone, and I didn't like when he did that, so I'm just not going to do it. And I don't even think I really need to, actually. So you can suck on my fucking winky. You want to suck on my wiener? How about that? How about that instead of giving you back the Legos? But again, if you don't do it, then you shouldn't have it there.
Oh, that's cool, D.
Should give it back. You should have to give it back. And that's still, even after watching Legal and tons of other law experts and everything weigh in on it.
He doesn't really curse, does he?
Really
At least in his YouTube videos, is that why he's saying like winky?
Just because the previous owners had a consignment deal that now they don't do consignment doesn't mean the new owners get to swoop in and now it's theirs. It's still, Brian's property would be independent of whatever happened there, at least as I understand it. And with the example that Legal Eagle gives there, I think that makes a lot of sense. If a franchisee takes in a vehicle, they discipline the franchisee, say kick dirt, that doesn't mean that the franchisor now owns that vehicle because of that. That would be a huge can of worms. That'd be a huge fucking issue, and that'd be very easy to explain. So I
fucking just dropped.
Where there's any real justification for not giving.
Never mind, he just wanted to say winky.
But we know that consignment agreements can be very difficult, and so we make sure that in our operations manual.
This is a crazy mustache.
That consignment is not part of our model. It's written into the operations manual. It's trained on, and it's very explicit. However, unfortunately, we had a franchisee go rogue and enter into a consignment agreement without our knowledge or authorization.
Stop twirling your mustache, Ammon. Holy cannoli. Jiminy Christmas, bro, stop twirling it. You actually look like a comic book Batman. And the way he talks about the previous owners, the Gormans, it's Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. You just signed a consignment agreement without our know-how, without our permission, our authorization. Holy shit. That kind of thing. And he's talking about like how they explicitly state no consignment, that kind of thing. We train them against it. That's forbidden. We spit on consignment. But again, if you look at the contracts, it is in there as an option. It is not prohibitive. So I don't know where this is coming from, unless it's a newer thing, which is possible.
No, I just think they're trying to like spin it as this new narrative. No, yeah.
To our franchisees, but we recognize how messy and difficult that can be. So we did stop that practice not too long ago with an updated agreement with franchise locations, and one of the stores must not have paid attention, and they did a consignment deal. That would be, if that is the case, by the way, there's nothing to even let us know whether or not he's being truthful about that being something they explicitly forbid, because again, all of the evidence seems to point to in their contracts, you can do consignment, but it's just so slimy, because he's not addressing the very clear proof that's out there of their actual contracts where consignment is thumbs up. You can do it. Here he's just saying, explicitly forbidden. No consignment, no consignment. Like he's the pomegranate lady. That's just, see, this is one of those things I'm talking about where a lot of what comes from Bricks and Minifigs is seemingly not truthful and feels misleading on purpose.
And then it appears that may not have been honored with the person that she had entered into that consignment agreement with. And then through other circumstances, we ended up retaking over that store. And in the shuffle, there appears to have been
the shuffle.
Just some confusion as to how, why, and
how is it that he has so much mustache hair but no eyebrow hair?
And what we found was that there were 3 separate sets of records that were being kept that shows that Mr. Mansell was significantly underpaid by that former franchisee, and so we've been trying to make sure that we can.
This whole saga cost Bricks and Minifigs significantly more in PR than just paying Ben what he is owed. Yeah,
He's had a big
like I don't understand.
No interest at all in actually trying to solve this peacefully.
Like, do corporations think that they're above the law? I am above the law.
We miss you. Bricks and Minifigs is here to help.
And also, like, even if, like, some way or somehow you manage to spin it legally in a way that you are in the right, do you not think that, like, the hit to your reputation is going to be so severe that you cannot come back or recover from it?
Huge issue that's bubbled over so much so now that they can't just try and bully him.
Hi, Carl Sefnir. What's up, by the way?
As a method that Bricks and Minifigs likes to employ, where one of them, Kai, I already forgot how you say his name, but even just outright said, like, yeah,
they do it because they think they can get away with it, but I just don't see how you think you can get away with it in this day and age where social media is so big that anything can gain traction and notoriety.
It's so fake. It's so phony. And again, Ammon was just on YouTube streams, what, 3 nights ago now? Where it was a very different tough guy Ammon there, at least a little bit tougher than this.
They would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids. If it weren't for Reckless Ben and Penguin Zero.
Sunshine and rainbows. We want to just help everybody. We just got information from the CEO of Patreon that they have filed all the legal paperwork to try and force Patreon to remove Ben's Patreon account, which is his main source of income. They're trying to strip him of his main source
yeah,
of
it's
income.
kind of crazy that they are trying to cancel Reckless Ben's Patreon.
Like, guys, we just want to help Ben. Let us help, dude. We're just here to help, man. It was the previous owners that fucked you, not us. No, dude. Let us.
Okay, unfortunately, I have to give this Lego Saga a pause because we are about to raid into the Elf channel. But thank you guys so much for watching the stream so far. I think I will be back for a double stream on the yoojin channel during the night because I think Road to Empress 2 releases tonight. So I would really like to start a playthrough with you guys. Yeah, but stick around for the raid into the elfyou channel. I am going to be playing games with Anna, No BS with Anna, and Steph. I think we're going to start off with some Marvel Rivals inspired makeup into Marvel Rivals gameplay. So I'm very excited and looking forward to that. Yeah. Stay. Or you don't have to stay, but I would really appreciate it if you stayed. And then if you are in the Elf channel, make sure to support me and the girlies and be nice to the rest of their chat, okay? I'll see you soon. You will stay? Yippee! Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I'll be seeing you in a little bit. Okay.